My game is always fair. I am a champion. Trials don't make me run. The challenge makes it fun. If you see me make an offer, then watch me while I conquer. Yeah, you can throw me out, but I'll come back around. I will always be impossible to beat. I will explore the comfortable, 'cause I'm a boomerang.
So tell me, what's your screen like? Can it go where you want it to go? Can it be what you want it to be? Enjoy without limits, like me.
Eyes on me everywhere, but I still take the dare. My game is always fair. I am a champion. Trials don't make me run. The challenge makes it fun. If you see me make an offer, then watch me while I conquer. Yeah, you can throw me out, but I'll come back around. I will not back down. I will always be impossible to beat. I will explore the comfort more, 'cause I'm a boomerang, 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 yeah, I'm a boomerang.
I'ma say it with my chest now.
boomerang, I'm a boomerang, yeah. Always be impossible to beat. I will explore the comfort more, 'cause I'm a boomerang, 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 yeah, I'm a boomerang.
Welcome everyone to the Samsung Live event. My name's Jeff Ingram. I'm the National Training Manager for Samsung's Home Electronics. And here we have...
I'm Dan Greenskull Hammill. I'm a longtime content creator and gamer.
All right, awesome. Dan, it's nice having you here today. I'm excited to talk about 3 products that we have some great promos for. And the first one is going to be OLED. This is Samsung's OLED TV that we introduced this year. An incredible product. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the ultra slim soundbar, because with great video, you need some sound and it's got to be good as well. And then finally, we're going to talk a little bit about Freestyle as well. And Freestyle, we did have a session very similar like this before, but again, given that it's the holiday season, this is a perfect product to get for friends, loved ones, and it's a great product to have around during the holidays. We do have, as mentioned, some great promos available. So take a look on screen. You're going to see some savings like up to $1,400 on a 65-inch OLED. You're going to see $300 savings on our ultra slim soundbar. And you're going to see a $250 saving on the Freestyle. So obviously, as the holidays fast approach us, you know, people need to start getting some gift ideas, and whether it's for loved ones or friends, hey, maybe it's even for someone like yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these are great gifts.
All right, so let's look at what we're going to be talking about today.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, Dan, let's talk about one of my favorite products that Samsung came out with in 2022, and it is the Samsung OLED TV, and it features quantum dot. Now, let's start talking about really the benefits of Samsung OLED, and the first one is going to be about the color. And using quantum dot technology, I know it sounds scientific, but let me give you the benefit. The benefit is delivering the purest colors possible. And when you're driving that high brightness, you're always going to maintain that deep color saturation. We call that 100% color volume. So you're going to get that great color purity even when it's bright. Now, for someone like yourself looking at the TV today, what's your opinion on in terms of color reproduction on this technology?
I mean, it looks incredible, right? It looks like I'm there. I'm looking over here and I'm seeing lizards climbing trees, and it is stunning, right? Like when it comes to that immersive experience where you're watching some big action movie or even a nature documentary or something, Obviously, colors are incredibly important, and to get them that true to life, it looks incredible.
Yeah, and when you're watching your favorite movie, you want to get as close to the director's intent as possible. Flesh tone's got to look natural, and Samsung's OLED are Pantone certified, which means that you're going to get that color accuracy when it comes to flesh tones when watching people on screen. Now, the color we just talked about is great, it's incredible, it's fantastic, but people buy OLED because of the black levels. And traditionally, when you're looking at buying a technology, for a dark room and you want to get the best possible black levels, OLED has traditionally been the way to go. And with Samsung's OLED, I know there's certain types of content that you really enjoy watching. What do you see from your perspective when it comes to your favorite content?
Yeah, absolutely. And you were talking about quantum dot technology before, which sounds like a sci-fi term. And sci-fi, yeah, it just happens to be my favorite genre of movies. And sci-fi, we tend to have these futuristic space travel, right? We're looking at big contrasts and dark alleys and just seeing, and I look out and I see an image of, say, space as a perfect example to me, where you just have these big patches of darkness. That's where, to me, it really, really, really shines. Just seeing the distinction between, say, a planet or a spaceship or a star and the difference between those two things. Incredible. It's so, so purely black.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And they look great in a dark room. They even look great in a bright room environment as well. Now, we talk about the picture quality. Of course, that's going to be the primary reason why you're looking at a technology like Samsung's OLED. But the design is also important for a lot of people as well, from, the type of decor that the TV is going to be placed in. So again, we're really proud about the design and the ultra slim or laser thin design of the TV itself. Whether you're wall mounting it, people want to get it as close to the wall as possible. And even on the table, on the actual table stand that comes with it, it's got to look good. From your perspective, when you look at placing this type of TV in a home like yours, what's important for you when it comes to design?
Yeah, so it's got to fit into the environment, right? And you touched on something interesting, which is, we have this very light frame to it. It really doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's less about matching the space to the TV. You can customize your space around the TV. The TV is just going to fit in. Again, to your point, I personally, actually, I'm quite a big fan. I love this almost kind of comeback style here of not mounting it on the wall, just setting it on a table. I think it just looks really neat. Like there's something cozy about that feeling, and it just looks really cool and futuristic with this kind of throwback vibe to it. It looks great.
Yeah, and for a lot of people who are looking to buy a new TV, the TV they currently have might be an older television where that bezel or the frame around the picture can be quite thick. And that could be a reason that, okay, I currently have a 55-inch, but the 65-inch is too big. Well, if you factor in the TV screen plus that bezel, you might actually be able to fit a 65-inch into the existing space that you're replacing the 55-inch with. Now, when it comes to what you see on the TV, from audio to video to some of the features, the processor it's kind of like the brain of the TV. Samsung uses their quantum processor, which is going to drive incredible picture performance. It's going to sound great, and all the smart features are really going to excel using this processor. Now, I know, we don't have to get deep into kind of the processor, but TV technology enough, and even the games that you play, what an integral role the processor plays. From your perspective as a customer, why is the processor important to you?
Yeah, something I find really interesting about specifically Samsung processors here and this new technology realistically is seeing upscaling, right? Seeing older content, say, look like it's brand new, make it look really clear, it looks magical. It's, you don't need to inherently get this new stuff because the old stuff's gonna look better, and it does that. The technology upscales it and makes it look great.
Yeah, that's important because we know that a lot of people have different types of content, from TV to maybe even their old DVD collection. So upscaling is critical, and yes, Samsung has an expertise in processing. Now, from a sound perspective, you commented earlier that it took you a while. You didn't even notice something on the stand.
No, we were sitting here and I look over and I go, there's a sound bar there. I didn't even notice it. It's so tiny.
Yeah, traditional sound bars are a little bit larger, but for a lot of people, that decor and that look, they don't want that to overwhelm the space. But at the same time, they want good sound. They want to be able to hear a much wider sound stage when it comes to watching movies. And yes, The OLED comes with Dolby Atmos. The TV sounds good by itself, but to really enhance the experience, you really should look at getting a soundbar. And the ultra slim soundbar is basically the width and height of a golf ball. It's very thin, it comes with a wall mount, and it sounds great. It's a Dolby Atmos Ultra Slim. Now from what you watch and what you play in terms of video games, why is it important for you to have a soundbar when watching movies and playing video games?
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier, which is that half of that viewing experience is audio. We have a picture and we have audio, and audio is incredibly important. And when you really nail that, you really hear those great tones, especially surround sound, right? Being able to, we're talking about video games, right? That could be the difference between winning and losing. Hearing enemies around you, having that clarity to hear something that maybe someone else didn't hear, right? To be fully immersed in that experience as, say, a big adventure, whether a movie or a game, right? Which are increasingly kind of blurring those lines of what that looks like. You were talking to me about that before, right? And so being able to walk into this world and just become immersed, sound plays a big part in that, and Atmos is, when you hear it, it's a whole other level.
Yeah, well, today's event is a perfect time for you to actually buy both, the video and the sound. So as we mentioned earlier, we do have a great promo. We have a bunch of them actually, in fact, for this event, including up to $1,400 off a 65-inch OLED, $300 off the Ultra Slim soundbar. And we'll talk about the Freestyle a little bit later, but there's even $250 off of that. So a lot of great things and great opportunities for people viewing today to take advantage of, given that it is the season to be getting gifts for friends, family, or maybe even thinking about yourself during this time as well. So let's take a look at a short video summarizing kind of the things that we just finished talking about.
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, Dan, so one of the features I was really excited about this year was the introduction of our Game Hub. And this is an area in the TV, very much like searching for smart applications and smart TV and streaming apps. There's an actual section called Game Hub where you can access various cloud gaming sites and games online, including Utomic, Stadia, NVIDIA GeForce Now, and probably one of the biggest ones, Xbox Game Pass. And I know you are a user of the Game Pass. What does that mean to you to have a TV to feature this on their television?
Yeah, for me, it is an incredibly inevitable, exciting thing, right? Like I love the existence of this. For me, it's bringing a controller is all you need. Like that to me is such an interesting concept, is that I can just sync this via Bluetooth to the Samsung TV, and now I have access to this massive library of games for everyone, right? Like games for me, games I didn't even know about, and it's updated all the time. And I come in personally, I regularly hop on Xbox Game Pass, and I say, what's new today? And I try it instantly with this, right? I don't need to download anything. It instantly streams, and I can play right then and there, right off the TV.
Yeah, and certainly for me, you know, my sister-in-law just recently bought a smart TV with Game Hub, and my son occasionally will have a sleepover, and for him to just grab his controller, go over to his aunt's house and play video games and give his aunt maybe a bit of a break, that's important. And we know that the gaming industry is massive. So, you know, with this type of feature and this application it's not going to replace your game console. It's really going to complement it. So, you know, from an OLED perspective, you know, what makes gaming on an OLED beneficial for you? What do you see when using an app like this on an OLED TV?
Yeah, so it looks great, right? That's a big thing for me. Again, we're mentioning just the diversity of games in so many different experiences, and you can pretty much ensure that it's gonna look the best it can possibly look. Yeah. That matters a ton. We were talking before about immersion, how much audio plays a part, and obviously how much picture plays a part. And to be instantly transported into a world that looks that good is a huge deal.
Yeah, and given this, the holiday season, the kids are home, they're off school for a little while, and, maybe there's only one game console in the house, and, just the fights to get on to the game. Having a feature like this where you can actually have a gaming experience, not just in one room, but others as well, that's a big benefit. And certainly from a sound perspective, when you tie in a sound bar, these games are actually getting better sound as well, including Dolby Atmos, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we were just sitting here before, just playing around. I was showing some people my skills. And again, as I mentioned before, that there's just so many different games, games of all skill levels, games for all types of players, that at Game Pass, you can find anything. You can find all different genres. You can look through it. You can sort through it and just find something that works for anybody in your family.
Yeah, and like we said, during this holiday season, whether you're getting it for friends, family, yourself, today's a great opportunity. With the savings that you're going to get, we have some incredible promos. You're going to see it on screen. We're talking about $1,400 off a 65-inch OLED. We're talking about $300 off our ultra slim soundbar. The two of those combined, the savings you're getting and what you're getting for it, you're talking Samsung's one of the Samsung's top of the line TVs for the ultimate experience, whether you're gaming, whether you're watching movies or your favorite TV programs. So why don't we take a look at a short video kind of summarizing some of the items we just finished talking about.
You nuts?
All right, Dan, we just talked about, our OLED, one of my favorite products, but in terms of fun factor and just different use case scenarios, another one of my favorite products is the Freestyle. And I know you have one as well, so I think we might exchange a couple stories of how we've used the Freestyle. But for those who don't know what the Freestyle is, it's a small portable projector that allows you to move a large screen anywhere in the home or even outside the home. So you're going to be able to maybe enjoy movies maybe on a wall up to 100 inches in size, but still have the flexibility of maybe going out to the backyard, having a movie night under the stars, or even taking it to the cottage or maybe camping with you as well. So we kind of talked about this earlier. I was kind of getting some of the ways in which you use the Freestyle. Let's hear a couple from you, and I'll talk about how I personally have used it
absolutely.
as well.
So you touched something interesting, which is it's versatility, right? I actively seek out new ways to use it. So I use it currently. I have it set up in my bedroom, and I have it tucked away, hidden, projecting on a wall that just wouldn't really support a TV, and I turned that wall into an edge-to-edge screen. I've brought it over to friends' houses. I've messaged friends and said, hey, do you have a big wall? I want to show you something cool. Yeah. Impresses everybody.
Well, that's awesome. I know in my house, this past Halloween, I was able to use the Freestyle and project ghosts and other weird things onto my blinds of the house and actually have that when the kids were coming up for trick-or-treating, and it was kind of cool. I had all the neighbors raving about it. Even for my son, who has had a sleepover where he's invited a couple of his buddies over. They're in sleeping bags in his room. I've placed the Freestyle in the middle of the room, and they're watching movies, late into the night, to the point where I had to knock on the door a couple times. And there was even a couple times this year where I took it out to the backyard. I just threw a white bed sheet on the fence and we were watching a movie under the stars. So there's 3 examples for you right there. Again, in terms of when you're moving and changing this, there's a couple features in there I know you really like in terms of ease of use.
Yeah,
Maybe you can highlight some of those.
It's tilt, point, play, and that is incredibly true and impresses me all the time. Sometimes I just change it to see it. I genuinely think it's so cool. So what happens is I tilt it, I move it. It could be on an angle you would never expect it to be able to do, and it adjusts, it focuses, the keystone lines up perfectly, it figures it out right in front of your eyes, and that is so cool to do. And you know, I've even played games on it, right? Like there's HDMI on it, I hooked it up, played some games, have it projected on my bedroom wall. Like that experience is really fun.
Yeah, and it's everything's built in there. So you have not only a smart TV platform, just like you would experience on a Samsung television. All your favorite apps and streaming services are going to be available. Even mobile device, you can actually do screen mirroring and send movies or videos to the Freestyle. Photos, you know, your vacation slideshow, just like my parents used to do way back when. And even connect devices using the micro HDMI input. So a game console, a Blu-ray player, anything else you want to connect, you're going to be able to do that on the Freestyle. So a great product, a real fun product to play around. And again, given that this is the season to be giving and enjoying the holidays and time sharing memories at home, Freestyle might be a perfect fit for a lot of people. And we, of course, got a lot of promos available during this event. You'll see them on screen, a lot of savings, but of course the Freestyle, you're going to have $250 off the price of the Freestyle that you can now give that as a gift or maybe even use it yourself. So let's kind of take a look at another quick video on kind of summarizing the benefits of this product, and we'll come back and maybe see about if there's some questions we can answer as well.
Yeah, let's go.
Eyes on me everywhere, but I still take the dare. My game is always fair. I am a champion. Trials don't make me run. The challenge makes it fun. If you see me making an offer, then watch me while I conquer. Yeah, you can throw me out, but I'll come back around. I will always be impossible to beat. I will explode the comfortable, 'cause I'm a boomerang. 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 Yeah, I'm a boomerang.
All right, so there's a couple different ways in which to use the Freestyle. So Dan, I can't believe it's gone by so fast. I mean, it just seems like we just started this. I hope our viewers got some information about some of the great products that we have available for them today. I think we may have had some questions that have come up online that we can maybe answer. I know one of them that we did get was about the connectivity of soundbar and how to get, you know, how can you connect it to the TV? Well, very good question, because there are a couple different ways in which to connect. There's obviously the micro HDMI cable connecting to the eARC HDMI input on the back of the TV, but I know some people don't like the wire clutter, so we do have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. How would you use this in your home, and what would you, in terms of benefits, get from either one of these?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. Again, it's presenting options, right? You can really use it how you want. And we talked a lot about form factor and just having it work in your space, and that does that very well. If you don't want to have that wire clutter, it looks gorgeous. And once again, I look over here and I'm like, it's beautiful. It fits so well in the scene.
Yeah, it is about, you know, keeping it clean, right? People want to make sure that there's not wires dangling everywhere, and Samsung's got a ton of great features to take advantage, to keep the look of it clean, to have a TV and soundbar that will match the room's decor, and a lot of options available in terms of connectivity as well. And I know we got a question about, from a gaming perspective. So maybe this is something that you can answer. With Samsung, why should someone look at, let's say, the Samsung OLED for the best possible gaming experience? What would you say about that?
Yeah, so something Samsung has done that I find very, very interesting and incredibly valuable is the game bar. So you can just pull that up. You can see information like FPS, incredibly valuable. You can also even just change the mode on the fly. So say you're playing a different type of game. There are already built-in settings to make that game look and play better by lowering the latency. And that obviously is incredibly valuable to someone like myself who plays a lot of different games.
Yeah, no, great. Again, I want to thank you, Dan, for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. I'm obviously excited that the holidays are here, and certainly the opportunities to look at gift giving. The promos that we have during this live event are absolutely incredible. So again, the information on screen is going to direct you to be able to take full advantage of things like $1,400 off a 65-inch OLED, $300 off the ultra slim soundbar, $250 off the Freestyle, which is a great gift to give to friends, family. So a lot of great tech that we kind of covered today, a lot of benefits of what Samsung has to offer. Any last minute things for you, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it all just really excites me. I love hearing what this sounds like. I love looking at the visuals, especially the deep darks to me. And I love talking about the Freestyle. These are just easy to talk about to me. They're easy for me to want to give this to someone.
That's awesome. All right, well, Dan, again, thank you very much for joining us. And audience, thank you very much for coming on and spending some time with us. We look forward to enjoying the holidays, and on behalf of Samsung, thank you very much.
Thank you.